Conversation is not like a video game. In a video game, when you speak to someone, you get like 30 seconds, and then on your screen pops up 4 dialogue options, and you can just read them, and you can sit there and think, should I say this, should I say that? And then you just have time to click a button and select one of the best options. But in real life, you can't do that. You can't sit there and think and weigh your options. Conversations just flow. Someone says something, you hear it, and then you say something back. So why is it that in certain situations, when the stakes are high, when we're feeling awkward, maybe when we're speaking to a stranger or someone we're attracted to, when we have this nervousness, right? We think that we can sit there and ask ourselves, hey, what should I say next? We think we can do that, and yet nothing ever comes. Every time you sit there and ask yourself, what should I say? What should I say? Nothing arises, because that's not how conversation flows naturally. If you want to do better in these situations when you're nervous, we can't be sitting there in our heads thinking. If you don't know me already, my name is Dale the Legend, and I help young men build their dream social lives. I've made hundreds of friends in college, throw large weekly events, and run a club with over 40 members. In this video, we're going to learn how to improve our conversations with a strategy I like to call say anything. I'm going to explain this to you with a little story. I remember one time I was hanging out with a new group of people. They were all girls, and I was feeling very awkward and very nervous. I didn't really know what to say. I felt like I was a lot different from this group of people, so I didn't really know how to relate with them. I just felt out of place, and because of that, I was just saying nothing. And when you're saying nothing in a situation where everyone's saying everything and everyone's talking, right, it comes across as weird. So the girls started asking me, like, Dale, are you okay? Like, what's wrong? Like, you're very silent, right? And I had nothing to say. Like, I was just in my head, right? And at a certain point, I realized, okay, if I'm gonna sit here and think of what to say and nothing's working, I'll just stop. And I decided to actually sit there and just listen to the conversation. And as I was sat there, hearing everyone speak, I noticed something very interesting. The girls were just talking about random things, like the most random things. One of them really loved TikTok, right? And I guess there was this like meme character on TikTok called John Pork, and she showed me like a picture of it. It's like a pig. It's like an animated pig, and he's like calling you on the phone or something, right? It was some brain rot thing, right? I don't use TikTok, so I don't use social media. I don't know what the freaking brain rot is. But she was like, yeah, John Pork, right? And I'm realizing that in this situation where everyone is talking and having a good time, and I'm not, right? What mindset do they have right now? They have the mindset of John Pork. They have the mindset of, I'm with my friends and I'm goofing off and I'm just going to say whatever I want to say. Everyone here is relaxed. Everyone here is having fun. And I realized that if I want to get to that side, the other side of this conversation where I'm engaged and having fun, then I need to think the same way that these girls are thinking. Instead of thinking, I'm awkward, I don't know what to say, this is an unfamiliar situation, I need to start thinking, I'm with my friends and I'm joking around and I'm having a good time. So instead of thinking of what to say next, I remember I just turned my brain off. I literally just stopped thinking. And I saw that my friend, the one who was talking about John Pork, was holding a cupcake. So without thinking, I remember I just pointed to the cupcake and I said, guys, what kind of ice cream flavor do you think she is? The girl holding the cupcake. And then she was like, this is not an ice cream, this is a cupcake. And I just said the same thing. I said, guys, what kind of ice cream flavor do you think she is? And then someone said birthday cake. Someone said birthday cake, and then she got really mad. And then someone else said mint, and then the other person got really mad, and then we just kept going around. And then I got pecan, like butter pecan or something. I think that's a bit racist, by the way. I don't think that's related to my personality. I think that's just racism, low key. But yeah, it was kind of funny. Everyone was just going around coming up with ice cream flavors, and it was just a heated discussion. Everyone was getting mad, and it was funny, and it was enjoyable. And all of a sudden, I went from this guy who was just stuck in his head, like really confused and out of place, to just having fun and joking around with my friends. And it all came about because I adopted the mindset of say anything. The conversations you have that are the best, you say anything. You say what you want. You're not constricted. You see, in conversation, your brain will naturally come up with things to say. You will naturally have a gut reaction to the situation. But what happens is, in these higher stakes situations, we put a block on this flow because we think to ourselves, hey, if I say the wrong thing, this will end up badly. And all of a sudden, you're overthinking every single thing, every single idea that comes to mind. And when you do that, you're putting yourself in a nervous state. And when you're nervous, you're not in the relaxed state where you're free flowing and having a genuine, enjoyable conversation. So naturally, your conversation is gonna get way worse. Say anything, bro. And the truth is, say anything. And you might still be scared to apply this technique because you might think, hey, what if I say the wrong thing? What if the wrong thing comes up to mind and people get offended or people don't understand the joke or whatever? And if you're afraid of that, I want you to know that you're right to be afraid of it. Because it will happen. If you're just saying anything that comes to mind, yes, sometimes it's not gonna vibe, it's not gonna click into the current situation. But what you need to learn is that it's okay. If you make a joke that doesn't land, that no one laughs at, you just move on. You just shrug it off. You just come up with another joke. You just continue the conversation. You change the subject. These little mistakes, these little flibs and flubs don't matter. It's like when you you voice crack or something. And then you start to feel like really bad about it. You're like, oh shoot, man, I just voice cracked, and you feel really embarrassed. Or you can voice crack and just continue talking. Sure, someone might point it out. This happens to me a lot, right? When I voice crack, someone might even point out haha, you voice cracked. But I just don't react to that. I'm not gonna be like, oh, yes I did, no. Why would you do that? If I voice crack, I'll just continue speaking normally. And then it's like nothing ever happened because nothing did happen, bro. It was just a momentary thing. And that happened 5 minutes ago, bro. Ain't nobody care about that. Say anything. And the more you do this, the more you get used to just getting into this flow of conversation. Naturally, what you say is gonna become even better as well because you're more used to speaking from this flow. Your brain is gonna get even more sharp, even more witty. The more conversations you have, your brain is gonna adapt and get better. It's gonna be more calibrated. But if you're approaching every conversation like a video game where you have these dialogue options, you're just gonna get better at overthinking. You're just gonna be leveling up your social anxiety skill. And no one wants to do that, bro. We're trying to go in the right direction. We're not trying to go backwards, right? So the next conversation that you're in, I want you to apply this technique of just saying anything. And the most beautiful thing about this technique is that you already use it when you're with your close friends. You just have to start using it when it comes to people who you aren't so close to or comfortable with. Now, I want to give you one more tip specifically when it comes to the content of a conversation. If you are feeling a bit lost, like what should I actually talk about, right? Here's something that could essentially lead to infinite levels of conversation. I want you to adopt the mindset of being fascinated with people. Every person that you meet has a story. They have their own life experiences. They have their own successes and failures. They have their own goals. They have their own favorite hobbies, right? If you are fascinated with people, fascinated with their story and trying to figure that out, trying to learn about people, seeing what you can learn from people, then you'll always have something to say. There's always something to learn about someone. There's always something to learn from someone. So you can just ask questions. If you ask about someone's favorite hobby and they say they like chess, maybe you don't like chess. Maybe you've never played it before. Maybe you don't even know anything about it. So now you can learn. Chess, I've seen that game before. I've played it once. It was kind of boring. What exactly do you like about it? And then that person will pipe up and be like, oh man, it's amazing. It's this amazing tactical strategy game. And there's 64 squares. Like it's like a little limited field, but it's like there's so many opportunities. There's so many different combinations for the game. It's amazing. I love it. It makes me feel like I'm a war commander, right? Just ask questions and you will have an infinite conversation. That's just a simple tip I wanted to give you.